Erica Morningstar, and I'm the facilitator for the Star Nations Contact Workshop, author of Star Nations Contact and founder of Divine Love Alchemy. I call myself a facilitator for this workshop because truly these protocols and teachings come directly from the star beings. It's not something that I just made up or put together on my own. This was a process of learning that I went through, something of a cosmic star school, for 7 years. And these beings would come every night and they would teach me how to move to the next stage of contact. Or they would take me through exercises and practices in releasing fear, in moving between dimensions, in communication with them. There was an entire process that each built upon the next lesson that brought me to a point where I was finally able to achieve full physical contact. Now, I'm one of those people that has always been attuned to different dimensions and higher consciousness. Even as a child, I was able to see ships, I was able to see fairies and different dimensional beings, I was able to communicate with angels, and I was very consciously aware that I had a family in the stars as well as a family on Earth. When I was about 7 years old, there's a memory that just is ingrained in my consciousness from that time of me walking out into the yard in the evening, twilight, in the summer, and looking up into the sky and seeing the first stars coming out of the night. And I felt such love when I looked at those stars. Even as a little girl, I was completely overwhelmed with the love that I felt. And I started crying. And I said to the stars, I promise to do whatever I can in this lifetime to help remind humanity how much they are loved. Now that seems like a very profound thing to say for a child of that age, but I was one of the starseed children, one of the ones that came into this world a little bit more awakened so that I could help others reach new levels of consciousness and awareness. And there's many of us on Earth at this time. If you're watching this video, you may be one of the star seeds, one of the indigo children, the crystal children, the rainbow children, the ones who are here to help facilitate taking humanity to the next level in consciousness and ushering in a new world where there is peace and we are able to thrive instead of simply surviving. This was during the stage when I was very actively receiving what I call etheric and out-of-body contacts from the star beings. The beings that I was primarily working with at that time, I've had many different beings that I've worked with, but at this time I was working with Pleiadians, and they were the brilliantly bright blue Pleiadians. Bright, bright blue. It's a blue that I can't even really describe to you. I would call it Pleiadian blue. And I have a necklace that is Pleiadian blue that I wear quite often. It's a deep, deep blue topaz necklace. And I love it because it reminds me of these star beings. So they were coming and visiting with me regularly, working through the contact protocols. And at this point, they had already asked me consciously if I wanted to be an ambassador and if I wanted to teach other people how to facilitate contact. And I had agreed. Of course, it felt completely in my heart like that was part of my mission on Earth. So I was having regular contacts every night, and on this particular night they came, and it's difficult to describe the shift from etheric to physical because in this case these were beings that were transparent. They were light beings. You could see through them, but they were completely physical. They had substance. They had form. They were a fifth dimensional vibration existing in the third dimension. So you could see through them, and yet they did have form. They were not transparent. Your hand would not pass through them if you touched them, which I found out that night. They came to my window and started tapping on the window. and I was very, very tired. Very tired. I had to get up early for work the next morning, and so telepathically, and this is something else you'll learn in the Star Knowledge workshop, I told them telepathically to go away. I was like, go away. I'm tired. I don't want to have contact tonight. I have to get up at 5 a.m. and go work at AT&T. I was working at AT&T at the time. So they kept tapping and they kept tapping and they kept tapping, and the energy was getting stronger and stronger, and I could feel it in my solar plexus and my heart. And so finally I said, okay, fine, but it has to be fast because I have to work. And just as soon as I said yes, they were in the bedroom. And for any of you that have ever experienced a contact scenario, when you have star beings manifest in your room physically, it is a perceivable shift in the energy on every single level of being. The cells of your body literally feel as though they're spinning faster and faster and faster. And you can feel it through your whole body like you're going to explode. They're spinning so fast. And so this was the first time that they had physically manifested in my bedroom. It had always been etheric contact before. So I was a little bit scared. It was a different sensation. It was a much stronger energy than what I was used to. So I was laying there in bed, and I followed the protocols that they taught me for moving through fear. And after a few moments, I was breathing okay. I was in a vibration of unconditional love, and they were still there. I could see them, 3 of them, standing right there next to my bed. And I tried to sit up so that I could get a better look at them, and I found out I was paralyzed. I could not move. My entire body was paralyzed. And I said to them telepathically, why can't I move? And they responded, because this is the first time we have been with you physically, we didn't know how you would react, and we wanted to protect you and protect us from a primal fear reaction. And then I understood, and I was like, oh, I understand. And so I said to them, I've moved through the fear now, and I'm so happy you're here. I was so excited. I mean, oh my gosh, these were the beings that I had been working with every night. And suddenly, there they were, fully physical, standing in my bedroom. And I was so excited at that point that I pulled up and I rushed to the smallest one and just embraced him, just hugged him. I couldn't resist. I just loved this being so much. I was so happy they were there. And that's when I discovered that even though they were transparent and you can see through them, they're solid. They have form. He felt just like another human being. Only when we embraced, the vibration of love between our 2 hearts was so profound that it can only be described as a godlike consciousness moment, a moment of awe, a moment of complete overwhelm from the bliss of embracing someone from the stars that is a long lost family member from eons ago, that is of this vibration of unconditional love. There is nothing but love. I felt so overwhelmed that I was in danger of losing consciousness at that point just from the love. The love was so strong that I just wanted to fall into it and just fall into the light like a deep pool of water, a deep pool of bliss, and just never come out. That's how deep it was. It was amazing. So a lot of times when I'm working with contactees and they tell me that they'll wake up in the middle of the night and they cannot move, if they've been going through contact protocols to initiate contact, that's a sign that the star beings are there, and they're initiating that for your protection, to keep you from jumping up and possibly hurting yourself or hurting them out of a primal fear reaction. And again, these are all things that we're going to cover in the Star Nations Contact Workshop. But I wanted to share with you just a couple of experiences that I've had that taught me some of the protocols that we'll be covering, because I wanted you to understand that when you take this workshop, you're not taking this workshop from me, Erica. I'm a facilitator. I'm bringing this information to you as an agreement that was reached with the Star Nations that I would do this. And I'm not the one who's actually written this workshop. It's come from them through their trainings, through their teachings. And I know that there are many of you out there that are in the beginning stages of this same star school that I went through, because I've spoken to you. And if you take this Star Nations Contact Workshop, it's going to accelerate the process for you tremendously. If you are someone that has seen ships or simply looked at the stars and longed to go home, this workshop can help you to facilitate a reunion with your star family. It's really not difficult to do once you know the protocols. So I guess that's it for tonight. It's getting kind of late, so I'm going to call it a night. And I just send love to all of you who are watching this video right now. I'm so grateful that you've taken the time to listen to me for this long. So, aloha.